Hello, and welcome to Spooked and Curious, the show that dives into supernatural belief, personal experiences, and the psychology behind why people may believe that they're in the presence of ghosts, when really it may be their sympathetic system in play. Going into this project, the myth we will try to debunk is that we have the ability to sense spirits reaching out to us, when it is really our sympathetic system coming into play. Hi, I'm Lily, and I'm a non-believer.
Hi, I'm Isay, and I'm not a believer.
Hi, I'm Mimika, and I'm a believer.
I'm Harleen, and I'm a believer.
Have you ever felt your chest tighten or your stomach clench when you're scared? That is not just in your head. Your body is activated for survival mechanism. Your motor cortex, the part of your brain that controls movement, signals your muscles to prepare quick and forceful actions. Some of those muscles are in your chest and your stomach, which play a protective role for vital organs. This explains why your physical fear in those areas.
This process is called the sympathetic nervous system. It spreads out through the entire body, but it is more focused in places such as the heart, lungs, and intestines. It signals adrenal glands to release adrenaline and rushes through your bloodstream to prep them for fight or flight response.
For example, your heart. It beats harder so that more blood can get to your muscles and other body parts quickly to play a protective role for organs. This is why we feel our chest pounding when you are stressed or afraid.
Your lungs also expand airways and increase the breathing rate. This can make you feel that you can't quite catch your breath, a common symptom when fear sets in. All of these reactions are your body's way of saying, get ready. Whether you're facing a real danger or just walking through a haunted house, these symptoms kick in the same way. So, Yumeka, how does fear work?
Fear is a basic survival mechanism. When you experience fear, your amygdala and the brain area responds to emotional processing, anxiety, and fear. Your hippocampus, which is your memory system, processes if it's dangerous or safe. Together, they are scanning the scene and deciding, have we been in a situation like this before? Is this a threat? Once they light up, they send a signal to the rest of your brain and body to get ready. Your brain starts pumping out hormones like adrenaline to prepare you for action.
To track our fear and sympathetic system, the four of us will be exposing ourselves to 2 horror movies. The first movie we'll watch is Ouija, which follows a group of friends who open a portal to a horrifying entity. This movie we will watch as a group. The second is Insidious, which follows the story of a young boy who is stuck in a realm called the Further, surrounded by evil spirits, which we will watch alone.
Studies show fear has less of an impact in group settings in comparison to being alone. We will record our symptoms and findings individually during these movies to compare.
To further conduct our research on spirits and the sympathetic system, we ourselves will be entering a haunted residence, now a museum here in BC. The Irving House was built in 1865 by Captain John Irving, who died 7 years later. The house is credited with its 1860s Gothic feels as a result of many of the original items still being there, including the very bed John Irving died on. The house remained in the family until 1950 when it was sold to the city. Shortly after, the strangeness began. Sightings of a man in the house have been recorded, and refusal of entry by both adults and children. One sighting claimed by a caretaker who said that footsteps were heard on the front porch, but when he went to investigate, he found a bright blue light that rushed out the window. When the caretaker went to see it up close, he claimed to have seen a man's face smashed up against the window.
First experiences were like footsteps that I would hear someone going up the stairs, basically when no one was here and I was by myself. And then the Vancouver Paranormal Society came in. They came in at night, which is not something we normally do. And so I was with them, and I was with a volunteer who never returned, by the way. I don't know why. He sat down on the floor and he said, I know you're here. He said, knock once for yes and twice for no. He said, are you here? And that was the first time I heard any noise, like an acknowledgement was the knocking. And so he said, how many are you? So the spirit said there's five spirits in this house. So I went into the parlor, and of course this involves the doll in there, and I got her. She had no number. So I took her out and I put number on her, and it's wet ink. So I left her there to dry. And basically I went back in there to get another object, and what happened is I was like at the doorway, there, and I was walking in, confidently walking in, thinking, I'm gonna get in there and get another thing. And what happened is I bounced off a force field of energy, and I could tell it was not happy. It was not happy. You're not horrible. They're very friendly, whoever is here, whatever is here, okay? And at first I heard whispering. I don't know what they were saying. I couldn't hear them. But as I was like staring at the window, listening to this, something walked across the balcony. There was a shadow. It was definitely a male shadow. It was not a bird. It was not a cat. It was not anything else. It was definitely a man. That's the first time I've seen them, basically. So just various things like that. Like those are the more spectacular experiences I've had. But I mostly just know when they're around. I can feel them. Like this library is quite haunted. So, sometimes they let me know when I'm standing there. I get a little feeling that they're there. It's like cold, very very cold, and kind of like you get shivers, that kind of thing.
Following Tracy's interview, we were left feeling very conflicted. Her findings seemed to contradict our point, leaving us to ponder. Using our critical thinking skills, we looked into the Vancouver Paranormal Society and Tracy's tour with them, and found that her explanation of sightings to them were almost identical to how she explained it to us. This led us to believe that it may have been rehearsed or emphasized for the entertainment factor. However, we do not have the means to contradict her own personal experiences, but here are ours. So, what did you feel when you were in the Irving house?
Well, I really don't feel anything, but I feel interesting about the history of the house. It was very funny.
I felt nothing, but I really love the antique and classical vibe in the house. And yeah, that's about it.
When I first went to the house, I felt more excited energy, and I was more tense because of that. But other than that, I didn't feel anything ghost-like or haunting.
I think I just felt cold in the house. That's all.
Following our exposure to 2 horror movies, one individually and one in a group, and a supposedly haunted house, we can conclude that spirits might not necessarily be in our presence, but really our sympathetic system preparing us. Ian Gibbs, a ghost story author, claims he can't see ghosts, he feels them. His senses prickle and the muscles notch in his shoulders, tighten in his neck, alerting him to the presence of something otherworldly.
Don't those symptoms sound familiar? Right? Those are also symptoms of our sympathetic system coming into play.
Thank you for watching another episode of Spooked and Curious. I'm Lily.
I'm Yumika.
I'm Issei.
And I'm Herline. And you big spook!
I ain't afraid of no ghosts.